Hello! Welcome. Officially popping in here to start this video. I hope you all are doing well. So this video was one thing when I planned it and has morphed into something completely different. So this is gonna be some great fun over here. But I had plans to do kind of like a cozy weekend reading vlog, and then my weekend went away. I'm actually going to be helping my parents with some things, so not a whole lot of like coziness is happening this weekend, but lots of driving, so lots of audiobook listening. And so I had a few books that were more spooky books planned, kind of getting ready for like Halloween, so that type of stuff. And I've got a handful of books planned, and then I realized that all of those technically fit prompts for the sweater weather readathon that's taking place this week. So this is gonna be a mixture of just like spooky reads and maybe the sweater weather readathon. Maybe I'm vlogging that whole thing. But let's just I'm just here popping in to officially start this video, tell you what I'm reading. You've seen some of them already. Actually, you've seen all of them already. So I've actually started 2 of the books, because technically the sweater weather readathon started yesterday. And yesterday I don't have the cover on it, but I started Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. I am on part 2, which is like 110 pages into this book, so really not that far. But I did start this, and this one would fit the prompt of like a fall something in the title, and I'm counting like monsters as the fall word because monsters is kind of like a Halloween thing. So yeah, that's my answer. But I started this on audio, but I haven't really picked it up since then, and I'm not sure what I think about it quite yet, because I'm just starting to get into it. I had to look up things for what happened in the second book because I've completely forgotten, and I think I realized why I didn't like the second book, and it's because I had no idea what was going on. Like, I found 2 different videos, one girl who's just kind of like explaining what was going on in books 1 and 2 in preparation for this, so I'll leave that link down below if you are curious to check that out. And then a video that the author did of stuff that happened in the second book that's important to kind of remember before going into the third book. I think she did it with Epic Reads, if I'm correct. I'll leave that linked down below as well. And things they were talking about, I had completely just missed. Like, it wasn't I had forgotten it. It was like I didn't realize it was happening. So there was a few things that I was just very lost on, and that's probably why I very much didn't like the second one, because I had no idea what was going on. And so I'm very interested to see what I think about the third one. Like, I'm already kind of interested in what's going on. There's a lot of this, like, theme of possession in the third book, and I'm not excited about that part. So we'll see. We'll see what I think. But I have technically started that one, but I've put that on pause because I want to really get into Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. Now, as of filming this, I am 6 chapters in, so 45-ish pages, and this is, I believe, the orange cover? Yeah, orange on the cover. But this is a mystery, a Hercule Poirot mystery, which is one of her, like, I think main characters that she wrote about. And it follows him, and he goes to kind of investigate a death that happens at this Halloween party. And it's this 13-year-old girl, I think she's 13, who basically boasts about having seen a murder, and no one believes her, so she storms off and is really angry, and then is found dead later, kind of like drowned in this tub of apples that they bobbed for apples in. So yeah, we're just getting into the story. Hercule. I really want to call him Hercules. Hercule has just kind of gotten to the town, or at least to the house where it's taken place, and is just kind of like investigating because he has a friend who was there, and she's come to him and basically been like, this seems a little suspicious because she was boasting about this and now she's dead. Like, did someone kill her because of this story, or is she just like an accident? I mean, it wasn't an accident. She had to be forced head first, you know? Anyway, well, that's where we're going. I'm very interested in this, like, story and kind of this mystery, and of course, Halloween's in the title, so it felt only appropriate to read it in around Halloween, near October. So this, I think, audiobook is about 6 hours long. I listened to it on 1.5 speed, so we're looking at 3 to 4 hours, so I think I could probably finish this today sometime, maybe tomorrow. I'll be driving early tomorrow morning. So we'll be listening to this probably on the car ride to my parents, but I'm enjoying it so far. And then I also want to get to this stunning, it always does weird things with my light whenever I show it, but it's this, it's Fangs. It's by Sophie Anderson. It's a stunning graphic novel. Like, look at the pages. It just looks like fun. And this is about a werewolf and vampire who fall in love. And it's a very cute, I've read a couple of pages when I first got this in the mail just to kind of see what the writing and art style was like, and it's hilarious. So I would love to sit down tonight maybe, and like before bed, and just kind of plow through this cute little book that I've been saving for this vlog, actually. So these are my 2 main priorities this week, or however long this vlog is going to be. So there's those 2. This one is, I think, going to fulfill the prompt of something that, like, a format you don't usually read. Now, I'm saying this because while I do love graphic novels and mangas, they are not my primary source of reading, but also I read a lot of audiobooks. I don't read a lot, or as much physically, and so I'm going to have to physically read this, and so it just feels like ticks all the boxes for that one. And then another one that I'd love to get to, just because it's kind of like a spooky tale, I think it would be kind of fun, is actually The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Now, this book is a bunch of other stories by Washington Irving, but I'm primarily going to be reading The Legend of Sleepy Hollow just because I don't actually know. I've never read the original source material. I know some things about this story because of things I've heard, but I don't really know the original source material. I don't know really many of the characters. I just know that there's a headless horseman. Like, that's pretty much all I got. So I'd like to know what it's about. So I'd love to sit down and read this short story. I don't actually know how long it is. It looks like it's like 20, 30 pages. So not too long. But also there is this production company that I love here on YouTube. They're called Shipwrecked Comedy. I'll leave them linked below. But they're doing kind of a reimagined contemporary reimagining maybe of the story of Sleepy Hollow, but I'd love to read the original source material before they do that, just so I know what they're doing based on the original. So yeah, I'd love to get to that short story, and this one fulfills the prompt of takes place during the fall, because I'm pretty sure Sleepy Hollow takes place during the fall, if I am correct. I honestly have no idea. I'm just assuming that it does. And then the last book is this beauty, which is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is a thriller that takes place on a secluded island, and I think it's Ireland. Yes, an Irish island. And there's a wedding that takes place on this island, and I believe by the end of it, someone ends up dead. And it's from a bunch of different perspectives. You've got the bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaid. It's supposed to be like super trippy, but I do have this on audio as well. It looks like it's about 10 hours long, so I'll probably get through it in like 6. It'll be nice to read when it's light outside, because I am a humongous scaredy cat, and I don't actually know how thrillery this is gonna be. Like, I don't mind thrillers. I do enjoy, like, the mysterious, like, solving a murder aspect of it, but, like, I have no idea what I'm getting into, so it looks a little creepy. We'll see. But those are my plans for the week. I keep saying week. I have no idea how long I'm doing this. But those are my plans for this week and the rest of the month, honestly. That's my plan. I just wanted to pop in and say hello, tell you what the reading plans were for the whatever this vlog's gonna be. But I'm gonna plow through a Halloween party because I love me some Agatha Christie, and I've missed Poirot. You know, like the last book I read by her was fantastic. I loved it. 5 stars, but it wasn't a Hercule Poirot book, and I've just come to adore him. So I want to read all of the Hercule Poirot books. I actually like looked it up today, and I think there are 47 or 48 Hercule Poirot books. So I think I've got about 5 here, so we need to invest in some more of those. But I'm just excited to get into the spooky mood with these books. So I hope that you enjoy. I hope my attempt at my level of spooky is enjoyable and cozy. Grab a drink. I hope you enjoy this vlog, whatever it turns out to be. Hello! It's been, I don't know, a week since I've talked to you last? This week has gotten completely away from me. I have finished a few things, so I thought I'd talk to you about some of the books that I finished, because I have actually finished 3 books since I talked to you. I know. So I did finish The Halloween Party, just Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. It is not memorable. Like, it's not my favorite thing I've ever read by her, but it's still a good, cozy mystery. It's still fun to kind of go along and try to solve the mystery with Poirot as well. I liked the way this ended. I found it very interesting. It's very much feels like your normal, like, historical fiction detective show. Like, this feels like one episode. Like, there's so much that happened, but it was really short and you could get through it relatively quickly. I enjoyed it. Again, not my favorite. I still think And Then There Were None was my favorite, but I didn't see it coming who it was. Though I will say, one thing I'm noticing with her writing specifically is that I never do. And I don't know if it's because she throws so much at you that by the time you get to the end, you're like, I don't even know who half of these people are anymore. But they also all make sense. Like, once you know who it is, you can go back and think of all the clues, and you're like, oh, yeah, no, it was there. I'm just an idiot. So I don't know if I just need to spend more time and focus on her books, which is entirely possible. But, like, it's been like a week or so, not quite a week since I finished it, and I've forgotten a lot about this book, I'm not gonna lie. So this one's not as memorable as her others, but it does, you know, it takes place at a Halloween party. They do all the Halloween-y type things, and Poirot comes in to try to figure out what happened. And I thought it was, you know, very well done because it links all of these situations together in a very convenient and well done way, in my opinion. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It still got 4 stars for me, though not my favorite by her. I am curious to read some of her Mrs. I think it's Marple mystery. Yeah, Miss Marple mysteries, which is another kind of detective. I mean, she's not really a detective, but like one of her main detectives, you know, Spinster Sleuth is actually what she's called, solving murders. But I've only read Poirot novels, and then like one that's not like anything, just it doesn't have a detective in it, kind of. And I'm curious to see if I would like some of her Miss Marple stories. I'm very curious. She might have a different way about going around and solving these things, which I think would be kind of cool. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I did. Sounds like I didn't, but I did. And then I was able to sit down in one sitting and finish Fangs by Sarah Anderson. I really want to say Sophie Anderson because that's an author that I read, and it just throws me off every time. This one is so freaking cute. It's really, really short, but it is a romance between a werewolf and a vampire. And the thing I like about this is it's like a love story. It's a collective story about these two characters, but each page is an individual kind of like serialized story. So like they don't all go together. You could have like a story and the story is literally this picture. That's the story. Continue on to a new one that has to do with something else. So it's really cute to see this romance because they're so freaking cute. There's not that much to say about this, honestly, because it's so short and so serialized, but they're so cute, you know? This is one that I will definitely hold on to. I will come back to if I just need a little pick-me-up, a little happy moment, and reread, because they're really cute. And I like the kind of way that she goes about the werewolf and the vampire just kind of like living together and being a couple. Like, they're not at each other's throats. They're not mortal enemies. They're just kind of surviving being two different people in a world of humans. And it's very relatable, I think, in a sense, because there's a lot of like normal day situations, kind of. Like some of the situations they find themselves in are things that you could see couples finding themselves in. Like something as simple as like, will you help me zip my dress? You know? But they do like a little twist on it. But it was so cute. It's so perfect for this time of year. And I really liked it. I really did. So that one was very cute. I gave it 5 stars. I don't think I told you that, but I gave it 5 stars. Very cute. Highly, highly recommend. If you want like just to sit down for an hour and have a good old-fashioned time, that's your book. That's your book. And then, over the last like few days or so, I've been making my way through this brick, which is Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. This is the Lass and Her Serpent and Dove series, and I loved it. I loved it so much. So it got 4, maybe 4.5 stars. I'm not entirely sure what, based on Copilot, probably closer to 4.5. But I definitely liked it more than the second one, which was a disaster in my opinion. Like, I missed so much when I read that book. But this one took me a little bit of the way to get through. Like, I had to get a third of the way through. There's a lot in the beginning to do with possession, which is not my favorite thing to read about. But once we got to like a specific part within that storyline, then I started to get really interested in it. I was really invested. There was more romantic tension in this book because of some of the plot things that are happening, which really wasn't in the second book. There was just angst for the sake of angst, in my opinion. So I liked seeing our characters kind of in those situations, and I really liked it. There was just some moments in the end where I was a little shook, actually a lot shook. So this was a good finale. I think I still like the first one in this series the most, but it was still very well done. I still really liked it, and I got 4.5 stars from me. I can't say a whole lot again because it's the third and final in this series, but if you like witch versus witch hunter romances, like kind of there's no good way to solve this kind of romances, enemies to lovers, things like that, I think you'll like this. I think you'll have to maybe you'll enjoy the second one more than me. You'll have to deal with second book syndrome probably, and then it gets better in the third one, I promise. But it is a chunk, and it took me a while to get through. But do you see how many tabs I have in this book? Yeah, can you tell when I started really getting into it? I'm really happy I read it. I wasn't going to for a long time, and then I kind of convinced myself to do it, and I'm really glad. This was a good ending. Like, I feel satisfied with the way this went. So yeah, that's really all I've got for you guys today. I want to read a little bit more, but I'm not really sure. I'm kind of like in this limbo where it's only got a couple of days left in the month. I'm not really sure what I want to get invested in. I still have plans to read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but I'm going to be reading that one on Halloween. I've decided to postpone it until Halloween. It's a really short story, like maybe 20 pages. So I feel like that'll be a good time to read it. Plus I found an audiobook to help me get through maybe some of the more old-fashioned writing style. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't read it, obviously. So I do still have plans for that. But that's really about it for this video, I think. I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here. So I don't even know what this was. It might have been a total fail as far as vlogging goes. But I hope you enjoyed the somewhat kind of spooky vibes I tried to bring to you this Halloween. I don't do spooky, so this is as spooky as we're gonna get. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you participated in the sweater weather readathon. I did not really, because I finished this book today actually, so I would have only been able to finish these two since the sweater weather readathon ended on Wednesday. So I kind of did it, kind of didn't, but I just really wanted to read some spookier things, some more Halloween things right here in the last week of the month. So let me know what kinds of things you are reading for the spooky season, or if you've got some crossover to next month, because I definitely have some mysteries that are crossing over to next month because I'm in a mystery mood, you know? I hope that you guys enjoyed the chaoticness of whatever this video turns out to be, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you want to be part of this awesome growing family. I've also got all my social media down there, as well as other fun and bookish links, so don't forget to check all of that out, and I will see you guys in my next video.